Previously on, will the mini Jeep make it to Area 51?
I could make him radio control.
The story continues. So after saying goodbye to Vince in the supermarket, it was time to resume my adventure. But while I was packing my chocolate bars into the mini Jeep, a man came up to me and asked me if I had a stove. And if you remember from me nearly burning down my tent in the previous episodes, you'll know the answer was definitely no. So let's see what fate had in store, outside of the store.
Oh, that's cool.
This is the 5-inch firebox. This is the one that we started the whole business with. You just throw your twigs and sticks in there.
Fuck me, it's built well.
Yeah, this is our most heavy duty, most sturdy. We have very lightweight versions.
That's a nice piece of design. I like that. Congratulations on that. That's cool. I bet you're proud of that.
Yeah, this has been our flagship product. And it's fun too, like, because you're building a little twig fire.
Everybody
loves to build a fire,
yeah,
right?
Just, I wish it was lighter.
Yeah, but I do have a titanium version of that that's about half that weight.
If you've got a lightweight version of that,
yeah,
then yeah, I would actually use that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because I've got a muff pot which like is supposed to go on the muffler.
Oh, nice.
But like, if I hit like a bump, all my beans explode everywhere.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Nice. Well, yeah, so shall I follow you?
Sure.
So I followed Fate and Steve's pickup truck to Firebox HQ and to probably the most unplanned and fortuitous sponsorship I think I'll ever have.
Come on in. We'll show you around. So this is our biggest stove that you already saw. This is our smallest stove. This might be a good option for you because we do have a gas burner for it.
Gaseous gas or liquid gas? This
gaseous.
is
gaseous
top 10
gas.
Stupid ideas, and it was calling a liquid gas.
And after looking at all the different options, I picked the one best suited to this journey, which I would show you now, but instead I'm going to save it for when I'm camping later on.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I bumped into you.
And thank you, Firebox. You will see how all of this works very soon. Oh, the colour the paint used to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy my coffee and my hot food and not using my toothbrush as a spoon.
I'm glad I bumped into you.
Yeah, no, likewise, so am I. I'm going to hit the trails now and try and get over these mountains and the other side of I-15 out into the desert, and then hopefully not get stuck in any more of that bloody stuff. Cool, cheers!
So with my new toys packed away, I got in my normal toy, the mini Jeep, hit the trails and resumed progress towards Area 51. And initially progress was good on the packed dirt. However, when I headed off the beaten track, things got bad pretty quickly. But when faced with something like deep sticky mud, real men don't give up.
Oh god. Oh, that's horrible. Alright, fuck that. That's my tyre. Alright, we'll avoid the swamp for the moment. Full drive.
Bravely I reversed away from the problem and back onto the hard packed dirt, where I was able to smash out the miles. But eventually I couldn't avoid it any longer and I had to cross the muddy section. On the plus side though, it did give me that chance to look manly that I missed out on earlier on.
Oh, this is horrible. Woo!
This soaking wet slippery clay was looking pretty bad, and worryingly, it looked like it had the ability to trap a 4x4 for hours.
Somebody got stuck.
But luckily I'm a very light 4x4, so I'm hoping I'll be okay. And with the 4-wheel drive and diff lock, I was. Although, to say this went smoothly would be a lie. You know those mudguards I forgot to fit in the first episode of this adventure? Yeah, that.
I'm a bit sat now.
Yes, this was quite the design flaw.
How does the mud come in? It should just go forwards and backwards. the mini Jeep was just full of this.
I carried on crossing the clay swamp, trying my best to keep going in a straight line as I slid all over the place. And also tried to stay upright.
Oh god, do I tip over in that?
And then the mud finished. Is what I wish happened.
Look how much mud is inside. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm gonna start a shrubbery, I think. That is horrendous.
Well, time to stop the engine and recompose myself. After finding the ignition key.
Is it all on my helmet? Barely even enough room for my foot now because of all the mud. Oh, it's all squidgy. Oh, I regret my decision.
Time to carry on. And abandon trying to clean the dashboard.
That was it. I'll give up.
Which then resulted in me bouncing off the diff lock rev limiter. Which was hardly my fault.
I can't even see if I'm in diff lock. Can't read anything.
But after digging through the mud to find the diff lock off switch, I was back to travelling at full speed again. Well, while I was passing civilization, I thought I should probably visit a car wash and see if I can cut the weight of the mini Jeep in half.
Oh, this is horrendous.
And after spending a lot of money, Willie was now clean. Ish. And just in time for a passerby to recognise him.
I was like, I think I've seen that Jeep before.
Yeah, it's been modified a little bit now.
Where are you headed now?
Down to Area 51 in Nevada.
Can I take a picture with you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. There it is.
All right, nice to meet you.
Likewise, cheers.
And with a clean Willie, that's not funny, I headed to the outskirts of town and once again hit the endless trails here. God, I love this place. Oh, sorry, just got to pause off-roading briefly to refuel and speak to a colleague of mine that I randomly bumped into.
This is quite funny that it's like that. So it was a Chinese mini Jeep that had 8 horsepower and 2-wheel drive and tiny little wheels. I did 1,000 miles on that across Utah.
You're just bopping around doing an adventure, huh? You don't want to grow up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I can't stop getting old, but I'm not going to grow up.
No, good for you. Wow, this thing is pretty funny. So
Cool, cheers.
Where were we?
Hi. Are you okay? Cool, yeah, just make sure you weren't like broken down or something.
Good morning. I'm in a cave.
I was in a cave. Well, to be more specific, it's actually a lava tube, complete with very stable climate control due to it being underground, and swanky rooftop parking. But time to get dressed and do something I'd been missing this whole trip.
Right, well, I'm up. Time to make some warm coffee.
It's my first time using an AeroPress. Firebox gave me some coffee. Don't really know what I'm doing. Reusable stainless steel coffee filter. That goes in there. This goes on here. And then you put the loveliness in there. Deploying loveliness.
Time to put in the right amount of coffee.
With my titanium spoon. I love titanium.
Or maybe more. And maybe even more than that. I don't actually know what I'm doing. I might be about to have a caffeine-induced heart attack.
I think that's the right level. Pour the hot water in there, and then you take this plunger and you push it down, and then you squeeze all of the enthusiasm into a cup. Time to make hot water. So here's the firebox, made of titanium, and it weighs nothing.
And in case you're wondering, this is how to assemble the firebox, and it's so easy, even someone immature can do it.
This is your box that contains fire, loads of holes, and you can poke more wood in the bottom. I'm going to try it the lazy way, and just see what happens if you just sort of throw stuff in there. Plonk that on there. Ooh. Yeah, looks like it's caught. Titanium grill on. And then titanium cup on. Don't say how much I like titanium. I think there's enough calorific value in those sticks I've put in to bring that to the boil.
I tended the fire, which was today's chance to look manly, especially when I got smoke in my eyes.
Some bubbles.
I watched the water boil, which was very exciting.
Right, I think. Aha, see.
Boiling water goes into the AeroPress. Put that on top of the cup and then pour this in here. This cup better pour well. You have no idea how little that weighs. And then probably let it set for an amount of time that's written somewhere that I don't know. And then you take your plunger and you push down on the table of unknown structural integrity that you found in a cave. And I think, oh yeah, insulated mug with a fabric handle, ultimate lightweight, and
Might as well film me tasting this, because watching people throw up is funny. Not bad. Not bitter. It's warm. It's hot. Success! Cool, awesome. Thank you, Firebox. I will continue to learn how your product works, and yes, thank you very much for the coffee. Oh, that is pretty good, actually. I'm going to look at the sunrise, put the lid on this to keep it warm, pack away camp, and then head up.
nice.
I had a quick look around the cave to see if there's anything scary in there, after I'd slept in there for the night.
I'm in danger!
And headed off.
There's Willie. Time to go explore. Somewhere.
So with my stomach full of hot coffee and my brain filling up with caffeine, it was time once again to hit the trails, make more progress towards Area 51, and see what fun things I would find along the way. The first thing I saw was this landscape, which was very volcanic and filmed very badly. But I'll try my best to make up for my camera work by telling you everything I know about the geography here.
Some sort of volcano.
With that out of the way, I carried on until the trail was blocked by a wall of lava. And then that wall of lava turned into a mountain of lava, which we in the business also call a volcano. I think. I then decided to explore the volcano. It turns out you can't drive to the top, but I did still get to enjoy driving around the lava field, looking at the cool rocks, and experiencing the weirdness of this random volcanic blob in the middle of Utah, which, as always, I am trying my best to capture for you. Drone! And I know I'm not the best drone pilot in the world, but over the years, I'd like to think I've got better at it, or at least more professional.
Turn off, dickhead. Turn off, dickhead. Turn off, dickhead. Oh dear.
I then retraced my route back across this lava field and went back to driving on dirt, with a brief stop to make sure today's human didn't need help.
You okay?
And then I carried on with this fairly typical Utah adventure. Just 20 minutes after driving on a volcano, I was now going up a sand dune. An incredibly steep sand dune,
Four-wheel drive,
that as usual, the GoPro failed to convey. But hopefully the fact I was doing a wheelie by the time I got to the top does the job instead. So yes, I am enjoying myself in the USA, and I'm doing my best to fit in.
Ooh, pony.
I made my way through the tight and twisty trails, which was slowly turning into wide open flat expanse. And these trails were getting less and less travelled, which I prefer because I enjoy feeling like I'm in the middle of nowhere. However, when a trail is just 2 tracks wide, and I'm only half that width, that means one set of my wheels is constantly smashing into the dirt mounds. I could only do about 15 miles an hour here due to the trail's bumpiness. And now I've successfully snuck the phrase bumpiness into the video, I decided that if the trail was going to be this slow, I'd enjoy it by taking off my helmet for a bit, hoping the reduced weight on my neck would make things more enjoyable. Nope.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, that was kind of the plan, but like...
And being out here in the middle of nowhere, I sure am lucky my vehicle is so reliable.
Right.
Don't worry though, I know what the problem is.
So what's happening, it's only presenting itself now it's getting up to temperature, is this fuel pump here is sealed. And so the fuel comes from the tank, which is up there. It runs in. Then the fuel pump then just pumps it into the engine. Originally it had a vent, which I've capped off because I thought the fuel pump will just pump fuel into the engine and it will suck it out of the tank with a siphon. Trouble is, now it's getting hot, it's making vapour, which is pressurising the inside. And so when I remove this little cap, it normally hisses. And you blow in here to start the siphon. For the millionth time, yes, the tank is vented. If you leave that in the comments, anybody who sees you write that has permission to call you a moron. Then the siphon starts, and this fills up way up.
Way up. With Jeep running, I could now drive it home. With the mini Jeep running again, I continued following my sat-nav along County Road 2486, apparently, until I got to a fence, and then I had to follow County Road 8492 until there was a gate through the fence. And calling it a gate is a bit of a stretch. They're not exactly the easiest things to operate. Top 10 places I don't want the engine to cut out today. But top 10 places I don't mind the engine cutting out is here, at this hot spring. Time to wash. Although the water here was lovely and clear, there were no fish to look at. But luckily though, I can use today's video sponsor, Fishing Clash, instead. Fishing Clash is a free-to-play fishing game on iOS and Android with over 50 million players worldwide. You can jump in for a quick 5-minute fishing session, or you can spend hours if you want. And not only can you use the code C90 to get a welcome bonus, just enter the code C90 by clicking here, and then gift code. You can go even further down the C90 Adventures rabbit hole by visiting exotic fisheries around the world and pretending you were me in past videos. Oh my god, it's me, Ed March, when I was in Halong Bay in Vietnam 14 years ago. Or look, it's me, Ed March, and I'm ice fishing in Canada with the Northern Lights in the background. Except this time I'm a fishing pro thanks to Fishing Clash, and now when I catch a fish, I don't just panic, and before I've worked out what to do, the fish is frozen solid. Download the game using my link in the description box, or scan the QR code displayed on screen now, and use my special gift code C90 to get a $20 value reward, including a unique avatar for free. So download Fishing Clash today, and if you catch an impressive fish like I am, share it in the pinned comment below. Now, back to the video. And after soaking for a while, it's time to get out, get dressed, and leave. But not before some very friendly people gave me some hot dogs, and my GoPro went mental, so for no reason, here are super slow-mo hot dogs. And then the GoPro randomly went back to normal.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Cheers, dude.
This is awesome.
How is it?
It's lovely, thank you.
And it wasn't just hot dogs.
Bye.
Well, thank you very much for the hot dogs.
Always, dude.
And my supplies for the road.
Stay safe and stay blessed.
Give it a go. Thank you so much. Can't say enough. Cool. Cheers. Yeah. Have a good day. Have some Cheetos now.
Well, now I was clean. It was time to leave the hot spring, head across the super slippery mud, pay a donation to the hot spring owners for letting me use it, and now fueled up on hot dogs and Cheetos, I headed back off into the desert while drying my underpants on the windscreen surround. And as I carried on driving, I started getting flashbacks to the tumbleweed carnage of the first mini Jeep adventure. Yeah, I really don't like tumbleweeds. Still, could be worse.
Brilliant. Right. Yeah, there's enough room to drive through. I don't need 4-wheel drive for this. So I'll move my underpants out of the way.
So with the memories of how well this goes with 8 horsepower still in my mind,
Ah, tits.
it was time to give it a go on Upgraded Willy.
I've fight 32 horsepower now, can you? No, that's broken. There's now a way through, maybe. Carry on, and this is my road. 0.3 miles, apparently.
Having proved I can now defeat tumbleweeds, I started making decent progress across the balls.
Another gate. Another 4,000 tumbleweeds. I think this size. It's all a bit much, really, isn't it? What a pain in the ass.
Now where were we? Oh yes, progress. Oh, sorry, just got to briefly pause progress because I was now at something I'd seen on the map earlier on.
Woo. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. And there's some more.
So what is it? Well, in today's episode of Things Ed Finds Interesting but he's not sure if you will, it's these random patches of volcanic glass, also known as obsidian. And I think this is cool because there's just piles of it on the ground. And when you're walking around, it sounds like you're walking on broken glass because, well, you are. And this is also today's episode of Ed's camera equipment doesn't make this look as cool as it is in real life, but trust me, it's cool and it's glass and pretty and please believe me. I know, I'll do a piece to camera. That'll help.
I don't know how to show it really, but like, it's really cool. It's all glass.
Nailed it. And if you thought my cameras were bad when they were working, things got even worse when my GoPro randomly decided to stop recording any audio for the rest of the day. Luckily though, I can use some audio editing techniques, so hopefully you won't notice. So with the sun starting to get low in the sky, it was time to start planning where to camp for the night. And after driving past a frankly offensive number of tumbleweeds, I decided it would be in these mountains up ahead, where I should be able to find some firewood for my coffee in the morning. As I got closer to the mountains, the trails got narrower, and then steeper, and you can tell it was getting steeper because Mr. Red Hot Exhaust Pipe said hello again. I carried on alone into the darkness, slow and steady, trying not to take too many risks, because I was definitely on my own out here. The only signs of life are the animal tracks on the trail, no signs of any vehicles this year. Well hey, the microphone started working! Initially I resorted to driving with two wheels on the grass to help me carry on upwards through the snow. But don't worry about me getting into any unexpected trouble up ahead. I've learned my lessons, and I've researched this route extensively.
Is this the top?
Sort of.
And as a surprise to no one, the snow got worse, so I had to break out the radio control again and try to summit the mountain. Until eventually it got so late that I stopped for the night, set up camp, and definitely didn't have a shower.
Am I getting a dreadlock? Welcome to my tent. Last night I really tried pushing on to see if I could make it to a motel, but I got stuck in the bloody snow again, so I pitched my tent on the side of a mountain. So now I'm going to turn round, head to the bottom of the mountain, go round, and then avoid this snow. And I'm hoping I've got enough fuel, because I've got a gallon in the main tank and then my emergency gallon on the back, and straight line from here is 19 miles, which would be fine, but I've got to go round, so it's going to be a bit tight, and I haven't worked it out yet, but I've got no choice, so I'm going to give it a go and go to bed and make some coffee.
Yeah, I really needed coffee. Enthusiasm was very lacking. So I employed my motivational hack of only rewarding myself with coffee after I'd packed camp away. And with that done, time for my reward.
Okay, right, that's off. Did not prepare the rest. Right, let's try the stick method. 1, 2, get some schnoo.
And after just a few short minutes, I successfully boiled water.
What? Boiling?
A bit too well.
Fuck me, is it boiling? Mummy! This is too hot to touch. Probably too hot. Ah, fuck me. It's boiling over everywhere.
But I did manage to get the pot off the fire, and that meant I could now use the coffee maker, which I filled with coffee grounds, and then immediately turned upside down. Because I'm a moron.
I'm just throwing the coffee on the floor. What a penis.
Second time's a charm, I guess.
Right. Let's not repeat that. Where have you put the lid, moron? What? For the... Nope. Nope. Aha. Lid on, keeps coffee warm while I pack away everything. Then I can reward myself with the coffee once everything's packed away.
And for once, the plan worked.
It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it is worth it.
And if you'd like your own firebox stove, links are in the description.
Right. Those are all the tracks where I got stuck last night. And then it just carries on up to there. And the problem is this bit here basically never gets any sun,
so it's about 6 foot deep. Once I finish my coffee, it's back down the mountain and hope I have enough fuel to make it, because it's pretty close. I can't really risk getting stuck too many times, so I'm just going to walk it back down on radio control. Come on, Willie. Please have enough fuel.
For the moment though, the snow actually seemed stable enough to support my additional weight, so I tentatively got back in the mini jeep so we could travel at a more consistent speed and use less fuel. And I kept them in radio control mode so I could quickly hop out if we started sinking.
When radio controlling, you should probably wear a helmet. I was stuck in this bit last night for about 45 minutes. Super smooth on the throttle, trying to maintain a fast idle. Really need to save this fuel.
And with gentle driving, I eventually made it back down the mountain to firmer ground. After discovering some more of last night's chaos, you can see just how many attempts it took me to get up this hill. And once on firmer ground, I was briefly reminded I never fitted larger wheel arches, but other than that I just had a pleasant ride, enjoying my radio-controlled mini-jeep. And I nearly found out that steering wheels aren't just for steering, they're also to give you something to hold on to so you don't fall out of the vehicle you're in. And once I knew the snow wasn't going to be a problem anymore, I did the sensible thing and went back to using the steering wheel. And the lack of mudguards struck again. And with the snow now gone, it was time to save as much fuel as possible by inflating my tyres from 3 psi up to 15. Which went well.
Well, that's a pain in the balls. I forgot that I was fast charging my UPS at the same time that I was running the compressor, which means I've blown a fuse. I hope I've got that type.
I did, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, one thing that was on the list was to change this fuse holder because it wasn't rated quite high enough and it's actually melted and the glass fuse is broken. And I cut myself a little bit, but nothing major. I'm going to try and bodge something so I can get power to that.
Doing the proper repair of soldering in a fuse is what somebody else would have done. I just twisted some wires together and wrapped it in tape.
There we are, that's rated to 15 amps. Nice.
And with all the tyres inflated, Willie and I were off again, together, as friends.
Give it a second, fuckface.
So with my tyres at full pressure and fuel anxiety hanging over me, I limped towards the next town, making sure I didn't work the engine too hard and tried not to slow down too much for the corners, which was fun. And eventually, tarmac appeared, and that meant that I was near a town, and I thankfully just made it to the fuel station. Thank you, Honda fuel injection.
That was brutal. Well, it's safe to say that was cutting it close. 5.3 gallons in my 5-gallon can.
And with Willie fueled up, it was time to fuel me up. So I ordered the most amount of calories I could at Wendy's, backed up my memory cards, and then backed up onto a toilet. Which, as it was an American toilet, meant that once again I made eye contact with somebody as I pooped. Look, Americans, you put a man on the moon. I know you have the ability to make a door the correct size. I don't understand why this is a thing. Right, on to more serious matters.
I'm in Beaver.
Yes, I was in the town of Beaver, which contains the Beaver Readiness Centre and Beaver Taco. And it was very nice being in Beaver.
Right, we'll flip this over in post, editor. So, gone to every... That's just looking straight at my nose, that's... So, I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but every single gas station in Beaver doesn't stock motorcycle oil. But Amber has delivered me some at the order of... Sean. Cool. So, these guys are awesome. I don't know if I'm burning it or leaking it, but like, the level's going down very slowly. Thank you so much. Means that my engine won't explode in the middle of the desert, hopefully.
Be safe, man.
I'll give it a go. And I always stop to help any person that's like broken down or anything. So like, although you won't let me pay you back, I always pay it forward. And
That's awesome.
I found a broken down bike in Argentina and I pushed him 25 miles to the next place. So like, that's the kind of stuff I do. So it will make the universe a better place eventually. Cheers.
And like I've said before, the reason why some people find this town's name funny is a mystery to me, and I personally don't understand what's so funny about it. So I applied my tourist sticker, then carried on. After rubbing it a lot. Ladies, did I do a good job? And with that, I headed off onto the trails again, enjoying the coffee that Sean from the petrol station wouldn't let me pay for. The trail started off flat and smooth, but then another mountain range appeared that I had to drive over, and I hoped this was going to go better than the last one. Things started off well as I began the climb. However, I was currently on the south side of the pass, that faces the sun, and as I got to the summit, I discovered the north side, that doesn't.
Ooh. Oh dear.
And I could already see from here where someone got very stuck, very quickly.
Right, time to look at the map, because going downhill and getting stuck is bad, because you can only go forwards. 7,359 feet. Fun little hack for you if you have a modern smartphone, you can always get your altitude from GPS.
Well, I looked at the map and it showed it was only downhill ahead, so I decided to chance it. Wish me luck.
So, diff lock on. Come on, Willie.
I easily conquered the part of snow that someone had got stuck on.
Nice.
And then another bit where someone got stuck. And then...
somebody got really stuck.
And I'm assuming they got really stuck, because after that point, all there were just footsteps. So I assume someone just carried on walking. But yes, I was now on what is essentially virgin snow, heading along, hoping I do okay.
Yep, nobody's been here before. Can't get any different camera angles, unfortunately, I can't stop. Oh, well, I can stop, I have fucking stopped. Uh-oh. Well, I can't go uphill. Does it go backwards? No. Mother. Right, let's have a think. Scrape in the centre.
So I decided to air down the tyres, shift into first gear, and drive out. Easy.
Very bad news. The weld has snapped on the gear lever. How do you sort that one, Ed? Right, well, I need to find somebody with a welder. That's the only way that gets fixed. I've only got to go downhill, so if I bodge it into first, and then I only go forwards, should be able to get to safety. Right, well, there's the gear lever. That's a one-way street, right? This is how I change gear.
I'm in danger.
And with Willie now in first gear, I cleared the snow out from under him and deployed radio control mode again.
Welcome to HTX. Switch warning.
Come on, baby. What? How? Don't make me get the winch out. Okay, I don't think we're busting through anymore, so retract the winch. Carry on. Okay, now I've left that misery behind. It's time for walkies. Come on. Slow and steady wins the race. Yes. Go on then, Willie. Hold it. That's deep. Keep right. Not too far right there. Hard ground. Should be able to hop in.
And okay, I'll be safe again.
Go on then. If I'm going to drive off a cliff, might as well preserve my head so they can identify me. Right. It's always quite interesting watching the steering wheel turn with the joystick. Ooh, that's pretty.
I carried on making my slow and steady progress down the mountain until I saw vehicle tracks again, which meant I was now back to easy driving, and I was the first person over the mountain this year. And with the exhaust not being too happy about first gear, I now stopped to change up, using the engine kill feature I built into the transmitter.
Fuck me. So, we're in first. Can we get second? Second. Third. Fourth. I think fourth will do. It's got a lot of torque, and hopefully it's all downhill. To a welder who's hopefully about there, and he loves welding pieces of shit.
And so, stuck in fourth gear, I drove towards the next town.
Civilization!
And hopefully to a welder about there. It was now getting pretty late and all the welding shops would be closed when I arrived, so I professionally filmed me getting to this hotel for the night. Surprised the owner.
On drive? Yes, going across Utah and Nevada on that thing. No shit.
And received some more rural American hospitality.
How much is it?
Don't even worry about it.
You sure?
Yeah. Every year, all the bikes come through and everything. Every year that you guys do this, I won't charge you. You're good.
Cool, thank you so much. Okay, I'm very well rested. Time to go and get my gear lever welded back on. Wish me luck. We're in third gear today.
Well, time to take Willie to see the locals and find a welder.
That was the coolest thing.
Thank you very much.
Oh, awesome.
I destroyed it myself. Do you guys do welding here?
Nope. Oh, I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I broke my gear lever off.
They're just in a shop right over there on the other side of that. The fire department.
You have coffee. I'm going to take advantage of this.
My husband's not going to believe me. Hey, it's $1.16.
Cool, thank you. Got my coffee.
I'm not addicted to drugs. You're addicted to drugs. And with coffee in hand, I headed over to the garage to hopefully get the repair done.
Oh, looks like you've been playing just a little bit.
I might have done a couple of miles. Cheers.
Hi guys.
Do you do welding? He did, but he also didn't want to be on camera, so all I can say is he did an excellent job, charged me a fair price, and I was off. So with the welding complete and refueled, I headed out of town and into the countryside. And it's a good thing I was refueled, because that's the short route by road, and I'm going the long way. And there's not much civilization out here, and what civilization there is, well, was. And after a few miles I turned off the tarmac and onto the trail network, but someone had recently sold these public lands to a mining company, so no more trails, which was annoying. But it was cancelled out by this bizarre interaction.
I remember you from long time ago. We have pictures together in Delta. You stopped there in the Family Dollar. That was like 2 years ago. Can I have another picture?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's awesome. So where are you trying to go?
I'm going to Frisco. I'm taking that trail there. So from here, you turn left at that signpost and then go down
well,
there.
there's a road there, but we're not allowed to let you this because it's a...
So the public roads have just been taken?
So you just turn around to go out and then keep go to the road.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you're still doing what you like and you got extra gas and everything.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is so cool.
Cheers.
Why I love beaver.
So a couple more miles of tarmac, and then I was on the trails. And as the trails got narrower and narrower, it might look like I'm aimlessly wandering across the desert, but I am actually searching for something. I was trying to hunt down an old abandoned silver mining town from the late 1800s. And when I found it, it was pretty cool to see that due to it being so dry here, the 150-year-old mining equipment left here hadn't just rusted away. I think this is an old boiler that might have also functioned as a furnace to melt down the ore, because all around it were these waste pieces of molten rock called slag, Oh, sorry, forgot I'm British.
Slag.
And then there were lots of other things scattered around that I don't really know much about, like this thing, and maybe this is a conveyor of some kind. And this is probably an early prototype of IKEA furniture. Once I'd finished looking at the old equipment here, I got back in the mini Jeep and discovered some charcoal kilns, which I do know about. Charcoal is often used for smelting silver oxide into metallic silver. And I'm guessing they also did the smelting up here, because initially the ground looks like it's covered in little bits of rock. But if you look closer, it's actually covered in...
A little bit of a slag.
Congratulations, Ed. Only 8.8% of your audience even stood a chance of finding that funny. But somehow, I'm up to 6.5% females. Guys, don't give up. Apparently there are women out there who like men that tell dick jokes and don't shower enough. Moving on, I also found some abandoned buildings, which there's not much interesting to say about them really, so I carried on exploring on 4 wheels, and I found where they were actually mining from. And I'll do some stupid things, but using random ladders and going exploring in that hole is not one of them, so I stayed outside. And as I drove around, pulled a wheelie and nearly flipped over backwards, I eventually came across what I'd seen in the distance. It was an old mining elevator, with new rebar and concrete poured on it, so I don't actually know if it's old or not, but I do know I'm not going inside it.
The gas that's coming out of there is warm and smells funny. I don't like it.
So I just stayed outside and looked at the old things, which, in fairness, that's like an engine and a winch type thingamabob. And that's where you put the ore in, and then it gets separated out into different chutes for different vehicles. And then there's an old building, and then there's a little mini Jeep, which I got in for the final 75 miles of Utah and into Nevada. After a couple of hours' progress, I stopped in the last valley before entering Nevada to stretch my legs, have a snack, do a Muppet impression, and accidentally show you some behind-the-scenes footage of what adventuring like this is like. And I know it might not be the most exciting footage in the world.
Oh, God, man, check the oil.
But I think it adds a little something. I take pride in my videos being an honest and true representation of what actually happened. And thank you for having the attention span to watch them. It does mean a lot to me. When every marketer is telling me to make short-form videos to make a quick buck and give someone the brief dopamine hit they crave, it's nice that I don't have to listen, and I just make the videos that I want to make and the non-clickbait content that I think you want to watch. So, thank you. And when I say genuine behind the scenes, I do mean it. Someone forgot the camera was rolling all this time and filling up memory cards.
Oh, fuck it.
Well, time waits for no moron. Time to head off, down this road, and do the final miles into Nevada.
Hello, hope you enjoyed the video. First off, yes, it has been a really unacceptable amount of time since the last video release, but I had to focus on my personal life, so really sorry about that. But I do have good news. The next episode of this series, which is the final one, episode 5, is already with Steve, my assistant editor, having the audio levels done. So that should be getting released like fairly soon. I've spent about 6 weeks sweating my nuts off inside this mattress fort. So I've been in there for about 6 weeks solid getting these done. This video had, I think at the last count, it was 9,000 items in the timeline just for this video, for like clips, audio, effects, fade up, fade down. There's over 9,000 items. It's horrendous. So really sorry, but I am working very hard and as hard as I can. Also, immediately after that video is released, then the Michael Reeves video where we drove lawnmowers 700 miles off-road across Nevada. That will be starting on immediately with my new thing of just making sure I edit every single day. For that one, I'm probably not going to edit 12 hours every single day. But yes, I'm just going to get on it and just keep at it. And so that's another reason for the delay. And there is another reason for the delay, which is really cool. And I want to show you this because I'm actually quite proud of it. I have just finished prototyping the next version of the Mini Jeep USB stick, which attaches magnetically, and it features hand cast silicone tracks, because I'm an engineer and I'm a maniac. And every person that I gave one of these to, the first thing they did was they put it on the table and they moved it forwards and backwards and went, oh, the tracks don't turn, which meant I had to completely over-engineer it. And these are hand cast, and really got to give this thank you, because Formlabs, you are incredible, you deserve this. This is a Formlabs Form 4 resin printer, and this can print silicone directly. So when you've got to prototype these tracks, because you can't buy them, I've been through a lot, but you can just print silicone directly. And so when I was working out what the tracks look like, how big are the ridges and stuff, I can just print them and yeah, just make them bigger, smaller, make them so they look right. And then once I'd refined that, I then printed molds. So now I can actually mix silicone and inject it using syringes and stuff, and I can then cast them. That's what they're like without the dye in. That's what they're like with the dye. And yes, so that's another reason for the delay, and it's super cool. Well, I think it's cool. And yes, that will be getting launched at the end of the next video, because I can't release the USB stick with the series on it when I haven't finished the series. And yes, and there's going to be a new t-shirt as well, should it interest you. But yeah, this is awesome, and I'm very proud of it, and it's really cool. So yes, I just want to give a shout out to Formlabs, because you have saved my bacon, because without that thing, I was looking at trying to get these like manufactured or something, and the tooling, it was tens of thousands of dollars, just wouldn't have even made sense. So thank you, Formlabs, you're awesome. And yeah, this is where I'll be producing the merch, and there's my vacuum chamber, so you have to suck the gas out of the silicone, and there's my pressure pot, and yeah, it's quite the palaver. But yes, cool. I explained why the videos took so long. I've told you that I've been kind of useless and I'm going to make more videos, and I want to make more videos. And thank you for being so patient, and thank you so much to all the Patreon supporters, because your patience is incredible. And yes, so thank you. I'm going to stop talking bollocks now, and I will see you in the next video, which should be soon.
And thanks again to Fishing Clash for sponsoring this video. And don't forget to download and play Fishing Clash by using my link in the description box, and use the code C90 to claim your welcome bonus and help out the channel. So cheers, back to the other Ed.
Cheers.